When I think of Larry Rader, two scriptures easily come to my mind. The first one being Galatians 2:9. Paul writes, Peter, James, and John, who were known as pillars of the church, gave me and Barnabas the right hand of fellowship when they recognized the grace given to me. Here, Paul is this Pharisee who is attempting to stamp out the church of Jesus Christ. He meets Jesus on the road to Emmaus, and some are reluctant to give him the right hand of fellowship. And here he says, Peter, James, and John, who were the pillars of the church, the inner circle of Jesus, they gave me the right hand of fellowship. When I think of a pillar, I think of strength and stability. Larry began attending Mechanicsburg Christian Church in 1947, being a member of our church for 72 years. And I believe if Larry were to live another 10 years, he would have been here 82, 92, 102 years. In so many ways, Larry's life is a life of strength and stability. Being married to Jeannie for 60 years. Larry was a pillar of our church. He served as a deacon, as a treasurer. He was a Sunday school teacher for over 25 years. He was on the praise team. He was on the church band. He served as a member of the prayer ministry team, going into nursing homes, and I'm sure in many other ways in which I'm not even aware of. Larry was a pillar of Mechanicsburg Christian Church. The strength, the health that we enjoy today is very much in part because of Larry Rader. Larry, to this image that is shared by Paul in Galatians 2 of this talk of the right hand of fellowship. Just 2 years ago, the Army sent me away for 1 year to serve at Brooke Army Medical Center down in Texas. And over the course of that 1 year, when I was away from the church, Larry faithfully wrote me letters. I've kept every single one of those letters. And I was often reminded of what a gift it is when people share the fact that they are thinking of you and they take the time to sit down with pen and paper and to put that into writing of just sharing, here's what's going on in my life. And I want you to know that I'm thinking of you and praying for you. What a gift. That's my first text. My second text, before I tell you what it is, I want to share with you a story. So it was about 5 years ago. I recall we were at Advance Christian Church for the monthly men's fellowship meeting. Either Jim or Stan were driving the church bus. We had 10 or 12 men on that particular night at Advance. And after the last person had got on the bus, which happened to be that night, Larry, the bus driver shut the door, and Larry said, give me a second, I want to share a story before we take out of the parking lot. So Larry is standing up at the front of the bus, and every man seated and looking up and wanting to hear this story that Larry had to share. And he tells a story of this guy who had left his work in the city. He's heading home. He's driving on a backcountry road. He looks up in the rearview mirror, and he sees this ambulance coming up from behind him. And he slowly pulls his car over to the side of the road so that the ambulance can safely pass. And when the ambulance passes, he recognizes the fact that there is a door hanging open to the ambulance, and he sees the ambulance hit a bump, and this bump knocks out this cooler out of the back of the truck. So the man gets out of his car, walks up and grabs the cooler, opens the lid to find that inside is a big toe. Knowing that he can't keep up with the ambulance, he calls 911 to ask for guidance on what he should do. Dispatch tells him that all of their police cars are tied up on all their calls, but that they will send another truck. And so he sits there, and 20 minutes later, a tow truck arrives, to which every man on the bus begins to simultaneously laugh and groan all at the same time. Proverbs 17:22 says that a cheerful heart is good medicine. Larry, thank you for bringing laughter in a world full of tears. Larry, brother, we miss you, and we'll see you soon.